When I travel to another country, one of the first things I need to do is get around. I need to go from the airport to the hotel, from the hotel to a restaurant, or from one place to another. Taking a taxi or using public transportation sounds simple, but if you don't know what to say in English, it can feel stressful. I remember when I first started learning English, I worried about saying the wrong thing. But later I realized that transportation English is actually very simple. You don't need long sentences. You just need clear and polite English. When I take a taxi, the first thing I usually say is very short. I open the door, sit down, and say hello. Then I tell the driver where I want to go. I might say, "Hello, can you take me to this address?" Or, "Hi, I'd like to go to this hotel, please." Many times, I just show the address on my phone and say, "Here, please." That is totally fine. Taxi drivers are used to that, especially with travelers. Sometimes I want to be more specific. I might say, "Please take me to the city center," or, "Can you take me to the nearest subway station?" If I am in a hurry, I may add, "I'm in a bit of a hurry," but I try not to sound rude. I speak slowly and clearly. Speaking fast does not help. Speaking clearly does. During the ride, the driver may ask questions. The driver might say something like, "Is this okay?" or "Do you want the fastest way?" In that case, I can answer simply. I can say, "Yes, that's fine," or "Yes, the fastest way, please." If I don't understand, I can say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" This is very normal. You don't need to be afraid to ask. Sometimes traffic is heavy, and the taxi stops for a long time. If I want to ask about it, I can say, "Is there a lot of traffic today?" or "How long will it take?" These are very common and natural questions. The driver may not give an exact answer, but that's okay. The point is communication, not perfect English. When I arrive at my destination, I usually wait for the driver to stop and tell me the price. The driver might say the amount, or the meter shows it. I can say, "How much is it?" or "Is this the total?" If I want a receipt, I can say, "Can I get a receipt, please?" This sentence is very useful, especially for business trips. If I am paying by card, I say, "Can I pay by card?" If I am paying by cash, I say, "I'll pay in cash." These are short and clear sentences. You don't need to explain more. After paying, I always say, "Thank you," and sometimes, "Have a nice day." Small polite words make a big difference. Now let me talk about using public transportation, like buses, subways, and trains. When I use the subway, the first thing I usually do is find the ticket machine or the ticket counter. If I am not sure, I ask someone nearby. I might say, "Excuse me, where can I buy a ticket?" or "Excuse me, how do I get to this station?" People usually try to help, even if their English is not perfect. At the ticket machine, I sometimes see many options, and I feel confused. That's normal. I take my time. If I need help, I say, "Sorry, can you help me?" or "Which ticket should I buy?" Simple questions work best. When I am on the platform, I check the signs carefully. If I want to confirm, I ask, "Is this train going to downtown?" or "Does this train stop at this station?" These sentences are short and very useful. You don't need grammar perfection. Just speak clearly. On the bus, it's even simpler. I get on, say hello, and show my ticket or card. If I don't know where to get off, I can say to the driver, "Can you tell me when to get off?" or "Please let me know when we reach this stop." Many drivers are kind and will help you. "Sometimes I miss my stop." That happens, even to native speakers. When that happens, I don't panic. I just get off at the next stop and find my way back. English is a tool, not a test. Making mistakes is part of traveling. One important thing I learned is that transportation English is very repetitive. The same sentences are used again and again. After a few days of travel, you will notice that you are saying the same things confidently. That feeling is amazing. It makes you realize that your English is working. When I practice transportation English, I don't memorize long dialogues. I practice short, real sentences. I imagine myself in the taxi. I imagine myself at the subway station. I say the sentences out loud, slowly. This kind of practice is very effective. If you are learning English and planning to travel, I really suggest starting with transportation English. It gives you confidence. Once you can move around by yourself, everything feels easier. You don't need perfect English. You just need useful English. So next time you take a taxi or use public transportation, relax. Speak slowly. Use simple words. Smile if you can. English is there to help you get where you want to go. And remember, every ride is also a chance to practice your English.